Good evening. How are you doing? It's I don't want to joke around with you, but look, I'm joking. It's this afternoon, guys. Yep, you caught me. I was turning on the microphone, and now I'm going to turn on your lights. Yep, I'm here to turn on your lights, folks. As the father turns on my lights, I have to share this common sense with you. Okay. This year is supposed to be a very interesting year to watch the stars and to witness the turn of events here on planet Earth. And I want to start off with you today. Today is Sunday, ruled by the sun. I am a Leo at 2 degrees 34 minutes, according to Placidica House charts, right? According to the Placidica House chart, I am a Leo at 2 degrees 34 minutes, okay? And I have Mercury at 13 degrees, and I have a Venus at 10 degrees, and I have a Jupiter at 12 degrees Leo. Okay, so let me move through here and let me show you what has just happened over the past week. We've been watching, if you if you if you've been following the times, we've been watching this whole entire Mars and Uranus conjunction. And unlike any other channel on YouTube, I'm going to really forensically pick the date apart and the time apart for the beginning, when people started reporting that things were going wrong. So here we are, guys. This is it. I've casted the chart for the local time, and I've done the proper calculation when I translated the UTC time to the Central Daylight Time of when people started to say things were going wrong. So here we go. What is it? What do we talk about here? How do we notice? How do we recognize the time? Right? How do we recognize the time here? How do we interpret the chart? As you know, we look at the ascendant, and then we look at the sun, and then we look at the moon, right? And the ascendant will give us the tertiary planet of importance for the chart, okay? Because this is a very interesting time, and I'm going to explain why, okay? Because if we do it, if we pick apart the chart in importance before everybody, we show you the very reason, why the event happened when it happened, and when should we actually look, and how should we study and interpret our charts personally, right? When we look at our own personal chart and we're watching transits, and when we see something like what I'm about to show you happening, we know how exactly that's going to influence us during that time period, okay? This is what a proper astrologer does, because an event happens. And I've been an event photographer for all my life, right? I started casting charts for events. I understand all the things that have happened to me because of planetary placements and why they were there. And let me explain myself to you today, right? So, here we have, what I did here is I calculated from the Greenwich time when this would have happened, this software update that supposedly shut down millions of computers, right? So here we go. What is it? Because supposedly it's only 3 digits. Supposedly it was only 3 digits that fouled the whole mess up. So let's look at this. Let's look at the time when people started reporting about this. The moon would have been in Sagittarius if we were using the Placidica House Western casting system, right? The moon would be there at 28 degrees 44 minutes. Very important degree, right? Because it wants to be 29. So we're in that trade over period. The moon is in that trade over period. When the boundaries drop, and the software update starts, the trade over is happening. We concur. Yes, we concur. That trade over period is very important. But most importantly, this is the big thing that all of our hard hitters have missed all week long. Because I've been watching everyone's videos, And I see that I see this must be the information I'm sharing with you must be information that these hard hitting big follower accounts on YouTube, they must be offering this information in their Patreon little behind the scene rooms that are paid for, right? So here we go. Because I don't know, I don't have a Patreon account, and right now I'm trying to invest locally. So here we go. What am I looking at here? The sun is at 27 degrees 4 minutes. The moon is at 28 degrees 44 minutes. We're almost 2 degrees out. But what is this aspect? What is this aspect? Because it's not an opposition. I find this a lot with proper moon timing. It's an inconjunction, right? It's an inconjunction. It's my famous. I like to call it the inconjunct, right? Inconjunction's a long word, but here we have a conjunction that's happening between Mars and Uranus, and it's breaking away. The power is breaking away here, but see, the 28 degree mark Taurus is also what? The 28 degree Taurus is also in conjunct the moon, right? So you have an inconjunct happening between the inconjunction is happening between the sun and Mars and Uranus, but not perfectly with Uranus, but Uranus is there too, right? As I have said so many times, because we look at Pluto, and Pluto is in this 10th house of the sickle, that's Capricorn house. But he's at 0 degrees, right? And the sun is working to oppose. The sun is in it's in a waxing opposition with Pluto, right? This is before the full moon, guys. Look at where the nodes are right now. The nodes are at 9 degrees. It's part of this final countdown we're in. We're in a final countdown, guys, because what's happening? The nodes, by the end of the year, December 31st, December 31st is when the node will be entering that 1 degree mark of Aries into the crossover period into Pisces, right? It's right here. Crossover. I'm going the wrong way, but here's the node right here. It's going to be into this crossover period of Pisces really quick here. It's December 31st, right? And the time is flying. We could barely keep up with the events. The big woods out. If I wasn't trying to hustle my craft all over the place, I wouldn't have time. I mean, I think this is the only way. This is the only reason why these other accounts aren't coming to you in this depth of detail, because they're selling their products, right? When an astrologer like me presents you the bone of the broth, because this is what this is. This is the actual bone of the broth of the week, right? And the bone is the moon, right? It's Saturn. It's relationship of the moon to Saturn, right? This is the relationship of our life, because the fluids, our blood brings the nutrition to our bones, right? And the flow of our blood is that Jupiter thing, right? And the moon is absolutely in this Jupiter house along with Ceres for this outage. Okay, so now let's look at Capricorn here. This is the full moon right here in Capricorn, okay? This is where we are today, Sunday. So now that the moon is in now, but the thing is that with Vedic astrology, the moon isn't exiting Capricorn; it's just entering Capricorn, like with their full moon. So I mean, there's a huge. It's like, what is more accurate? Because there is a crossover. There's a new conflict between Israel and Hamas, and it's in this crossover period. Plus, it's getting ready to move over this planet of death known as Pluto, and this planet of wealth known as Pluto. while the sun makes the opposition, to both of them, right? What will we pick up from our new moon Capricorn? What will we pick up from our new moon Cancer to put down on our full moon Cancer coming in December, right? When will the next full moon be? When will the full moon Cancer be? Will it be in January? I mean, and because we will be talking about these nodes. We'll be here as long as the internet's here. But the thing is that we'll all have our thinking caps on with your bright-eyed, bushy-tailed Johnny I Spy, right? Because holy cow, I'm bright-eyed, right? I do not understand why no other astrologer has gone over with this. Because look, here we are. Here's the moon entering at 1 degree. Here's the moon entering the crossover period. Or not the moon, but the node. Here's the node is moving into the crossover period between Aries and Libra to Pisces and Virgo, right? Because they're moving backwards, as you know. This is the tail, this is the head, right? As we know. So the node is on its way to meet with Neptune, and then it will also meet with Saturn later on, right? And it'll be like March or something when the node, like, you know, I'm hoping things will be sizzling down, but when the node meets up with Neptune, how many things in history? I mean, how many things in history has happened when the node is conjunct Neptune? I mean, when the head of the dragon has conjunct Neptune in Pisces. I mean, how many things happen? Because it's still a hard time, right? I mean, Neptune is still, you know, thinking about, because Neptune's actually, for this December 31st date, both Neptune and Saturn, for this date, both Neptune and Saturn are in forward motion, along with Venus and Pluto. All these guys are in forward motion now. But look how different this year is, because while Saturn and Neptune and Chiron, while all these guys are in forward motion, we have a Mars retrograde, a Jupiter retrograde, and a Uranus retrograde, right? Holy cow. This is going to be a really interesting winter, don't you think? Especially for when the time the node enters. I mean, it'll be, for Banff, it will be December 31st, when this actually happens. 13 degrees Libra, sextile my Jupiter, opposed. This ascendant is opposed my Saturn. Oh wow, we're going to really know this date. And this is at 1:14 in the morning. More likely I'll be up because I know my roommate is a night owl, right? And most importantly, it is actually New Year's Eve. So what will New Year's Eve be like for us, for when the nodes? Because this is absolutely something else, because here we have Banff. This is why it's so important for us here in Banff. Look, when Banff became a town, January 1st, 1990, and I've been watching the nodes for this. This is how you should watch it for your town as well, if you're not in Banff. Get your town's birth chart like I have. And the node, I mean, I'm very happy to this, because this chart has helped me stay alive in this town. I know this town ticks, and I know how this town is opposed to what I do and opposed with what I not do here, because this is a Capricorn kind of town, right? We have a town meeting of planets. On the birthday of Banff, we have Sun 10 degrees Capricorn, Mercury 25 degrees Capricorn retrograde, Venus in Aquarius. We have what else we have? We have Uranus at 5 degrees Capricorn, and we have Neptune at 12 degrees Capricorn, right? So, and the town's Neptune is absolutely opposed my Mercury, you know, and it's probably a reason why I want to create an underworld parking lot, and, you know, carbon deck experience, so we can have more of the park to enjoy above ground. We don't have all this freaking flaming hot asphalt all summer long, and this ugly freaking snow all winter long, especially when we don't get very much snow here. So folks, this is it right here. New Year's Eve is when the node enters its crossover period as we enter a new year. And then here's the chart right here. I'll put it right simple. I'll put this up so you guys can actually look at this right here. These are significant dates because this is the crossover period. This is going to be, it's going to be the flavor. See, this is how it's going to be here in Banff, right? And look, as I said before, on the 11th, holy cow, this is crazy. On the 11th, when it moves into Virgo, the ascendant is actually conjunct my Mercury, okay? My natal Mercury. It's unbelievable. But look at this. I mean, we have a moon in Gemini, and Jupiter's only at 12 degrees retrograde. This is the first 2 weeks of the year, guys. We're dealing with this, and as I said before, what is happening here? This is when the node. This is when the node right here. You see, these are the nodes. 29, 59. This is exactly when they enter Virgo and come out of the crossover period of, so you can think about the head of the dragon moving into Banff's 12th house. So with the head of the dragon moving into, or when the tail of the dragon is moving into Banff's 12th house of karmic fate, right? Yeah, all that Neptune house kind of stuff. And then you can see on the 6th house of Banff, this is where the dragon's head is going to be, in that 6th house of crisis. Okay? The 12th house is a joint crisis, and the 6th house is an internal crisis. Okay? I hope I've helped you out with this podcast here. Once again, these are the charts you want to look at. These are the exact times. Take it to your local. Find your local town's birth chart, right? And place your chart to it, and then watch the transits happen, right? And what is happening day for day with these charts, right? Because this is going to be a very interesting time. This is a good measurement. There's not a better measurement here because what has been going around Banff, we will be able to look through all of history, every account, every news article that has sprung up over the time period where the node has been traveling through this Aries Libra houses, and then to look at the town of Banff and look at the charts, look at the articles, the news articles as events occur, and to witness the nodes and the dragon's head and dragon's tail, or Rahu Ketu, to notice them and their activity in this 1st house, 7th house of the town of Banff. But most importantly, your locale as well, okay? I'm just giving you an example here with my town. All the best to you, and I'll talk to you soon, okay? Over and out. Yeah! Woo!